Harney. I'm the Director of Community Engagement and Marketing at MAPP International Productions. And at MAPP, we're a performing arts producing organization, and we work with artists from across the dance and theater spectrum. A lot of our artists work multidisciplinarily as well. And when I say we're performing arts producers, it means that we work with artists from the very beginning of their project all the way through the premiere and also the tour of the work. And we help with the fundraising, we do budgets, we set timelines, we help secure residency opportunities and workshops and things like that. We also find a place to premiere the work, and then once it's ready to tour, we tour it nationally and internationally. We're also very, very interested in connecting work not just to stages and to presentational opportunities, but connecting it to public communities all around the nation and around the world. And so we try to open the process in multiple ways to multiple publics as an artist is building the work, and also while it's on tour, we work deeply with presenters and with the artists and public communities to connect that work also into those communities as it travels around. This year we don't have any showcases. We tend to not do showcases the typical way. You know, the typical APAP experience is a roster of artists, you know, where everybody gets 10 minutes of performance. We find that hasn't been all that successful for the artists that we work with. A lot of their projects are pretty deep and intense and have a lot of elements to them. So we find that they need a little bit more time to show the work, and we also think that for presenters, sometimes seeing the full work is more useful than just seeing an 8-minute clip. So we try to find experiences or create experiences that deal with that a little bit more. We think of ourselves as being part of a global community, and trying to work across borders as much as we can. We're also the general managers and members of a consortium of organizations around the country called the Africa Contemporary Arts Consortium. It's, I think at this point, 10 organizations, residency centers, presenting organizations, ourselves, we're producers, and all of the organizations have in common is a long-term commitment to increasing exchange between African artists working on the continent, contemporary artists in particular, with artists and public communities and artistic communities here in the U.S. So we're really focused on long-term, deep engagement and trying to move away from just the sort of traditional import-export model. This conference, actually, this year has largely been about cultural diplomacy and international work. There's been lots and lots of presentations about that, and one thing that I feel like is missing in that conversation sometimes is the recognition that it's going to be very difficult, and there are going to be misunderstandings, and there are differences, and it's not, doing that work is not about erasing those differences or whitewashing the situation. It's about recognizing those differences and the inequality that exists around the world. We try to work across that and acknowledge those and figure out, you know, as much as there's a difference in the resources that are brought to the table financially, there are other resources also that everyone brings to the table. So we try to be very aware of the multiplicity of resources that are around the table and make use of those. But we also recognize that these things take a long time, and it's, you know, we're interested in a 5, 10, 15-year relationship, not a one-off. The things that are coming up the soonest are, we have a tour in April and May of Los Muñequitos de Matanzas, a Cuban rumba group from Matanzas, Cuba. We're also touring a piece called Spalding Gray, Stories Left to Tell, which is at PS 122 right now. It was sort of birthed at PS 122 back in 2006, I believe. And so that piece sort of continues to tour around the country as well. It's an ensemble piece taking the monologues of Spalding Gray and sort of expanding them, making them, or showing their universality. We're working on a new piece with Nora Chupamire, called Miriam, which is scheduled to premiere in 2012, fall of 2012. She's at the very beginning stages of the process. That one is inspired by the life of Miriam Makeba and deals with questions of exile and family and fame and the sort of tensions between public and private life. And Nora is really using Miriam's story. It won't be a direct homage, but more using Miriam's story to access her own story and her own feelings about those issues. We're working on a tour of 4 different contemporary African female choreographers in the fall of 2012.
Wow.
And then Ivana Muller, who you also know very well.
Yeah. We will have in choreography or else.
Yes, absolutely. Plug.
I'm David also. Yeah.
Fausta Mlenekula, who's an artist from the Democratic Republic of Congo, who we've worked with several times. This will be the 3rd tour that we've worked on with Fausta. A new piece called More Future, which is it's sort of like a cross between a rock, pop, funk concert with a full band on stage and a dance concert, contemporary dance concert. Dean Moss you know about, and then last but certainly not least, Mark Bamuti Joseph and his new piece Red, Black and Green, A Blues, which is premiering in October of 2012 at Yerba Buena, and has been in development for the last couple of years actually. Bamuti has been working extensively in communities. The pieces takes up questions of eco-justice and bringing underserved and under-resourced communities into the green conversation, trying to connect those communities with the green movement in their own communities, but also to really recognize and applaud and celebrate the cultural sustainability that those communities already have. We also run a national network that's called the America Project that was based on, comes out of the methodology of an artist, Sekou Sandiato, who we worked with up until 2007. And last year we published a curriculum guide to his methodology and are distributing that freely. If you want a copy, please get in touch. www.mappinternational.org.
Yes, and you're also Dance Tech members.
Yay!
Yeah, and
Dance Tech.
well, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's really nice.
Good.
Thank you.
It's a lot.